Good evening, everybody. It's July 14th. I know I said last night was July 14th, but it was after midnight. That's the reason there. So we are before midnight. It is nearly July 15th here on the east coast of the United States, anyway. Take a quick look at Bitcoin. Had an encouraging bounce off of that green box, which I went over on the video. That this was support basically for this ABC down. Bullish potential is this being a 5-wave ABC, basically the WXYXZ labeled in green here, and that completing the yellow 2, which came after the yellow 1 here. So in order for this to be primary, we really need to get ourselves over this green downtrend, and then definitely need to get through this red box here. And let me describe what I'm looking at for that red box. So if this is going to be the bearish potential, this being 2 and needing a third wave down here, then potentially we just did a 5-wave diagonal downwards for 1, and we would be looking for a 2 to come up into this red box before another move down in a 3, and then a 4 and a 5, which would eventually take us down below this 1 into the red 3 region. So the red box is a fib from the high here to the low here, and basically we would expect for a second wave out of an ending or out of a starting diagonal to go anywhere between really the 382 and the 618 is like the ideal for a normal impulse, but diagonals tend to go further, so I kind of have this marked basically from the 0.5 all the way to the 886. If we reject anywhere in that region, it's not a guarantee that we go down, but if we reject from the green trend line and go down, then, you know, especially if we break through some of these lows that we made here, that would indicate more that we're potentially getting the next moves down into this 3 area. It really could even breaking through that trend line, if we just get a quick break up and we fail to close the daily outside or whatever, we could still see that just be like a bull trap basically, and still see this. So, but basically once we get above the 886, those chances get significantly lowered, and once we get above this high here, above 36.6, then it's much lower probability of going down. The whole count would have to be reordered. It wouldn't really potentially wouldn't really make sense to go into that deeper 3 then anymore. So this is really the area to watch, the area of resistance here. So first step, break the green trend line. Second step, break above 36K, and do it in a way that is indicative of making a third wave here. So potentially if we go down real micro on the 5-minute, I don't really have a clean 5 waves unfortunately in this this move. In fact, it kind of looks like an ABC. So this is the downside here. Let's see, I'm just going to pull a fib extension. If that's an ABC, we would expect rejection for C anywhere between the 618 and the 1236, which is this area here. We did already reject from that 764, so potentially this move is already done upwards and could have just played out as an ABC, like a dead cat bounce. And if we break down below 31.5, that pretty much confirms that as being the case. It's unlikely, but it's still possible, I suppose, that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and some sort of odd diagonal here. So that's a possibility. It's not really super clean. This 5 is pretty weak here for sure. So definitely no reason to be overtly bullish yet on Bitcoin. But if we can consider this the beginning of a very micro one down on the 5-minute chart, then we're going to look potentially for support again with a fib retracement. The 382 being the minimum, but with this move being a diagonal or an ABC, then our more micro support is like this region here between the 0.5 and the 886 for a deeper support. So that's now support there, unless this breaks over this high, and then this is all going to get reset. But for now, just on the very micro movements, which we should see a resolution of overnight, I would think. If we see this come down and find support here and then break above this high, that's going to be a preliminary indication of this wanting more, at least. And then obviously we're going into the big, more macro resistance zone there. But just wanted to go over that little micro support area there. So we really want to see overnight hold 32.3 down to 31.7. Would not like to see it fall below that area in order for bullishness to continue immediately in the Bitcoin market. So take that for what it's worth. Obviously down on the 5-minute is not necessarily the most reliable time frame in the world, but it is what it is, and we'll see what happens. Encouraging if we can hold that green box, basically, and then we'll look to break that red box up there. All right, so that's the update on Bitcoin tonight, and we'll just continue to watch price action, and when there is a clear setup for leverage plays, I'll be sure to let everybody know. All right, have a good night.